Hello and welcome to Mallory's World. Hi, I'm Mallory. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe so you can stick around for some more fun. Today, the video could be lengthy and it's not going to be all that fun, but I feel like it's important. And this is something that's been on my mind a lot, and even more so lately. Something that I've been struggling with for as far back as I can remember, and part of me wants to tell you all the nitty-gritty details, and part of me is like, maybe I'll write a book one day and hints of that will come out through there, because I really don't like putting anyone specifically on blast and airing other people's dirty laundry. But especially if I don't want people to have the wrong impression of someone, even if they've hurt me deeply. And there is someone in my life who has hurt me deeply and has constantly let me down. And somehow I've internalized that into thinking and believing that it was my own fault, and that anything that I do wrong, or if I get in trouble in any way, or if I don't get good grades, or if I don't use neat handwriting, or anything, the list, I don't win enough awards in high school, the list can go on, I immediately break down, get upset, I will cry, and my mom will say to me like, why? Why are you giving this person all this power? Like, take your power back. You're in control of your own life and your own destiny. And there's that quote. It was about I want to say it was a woman. Could be a guy. I want to say it's a lady. It's a famous quote. And it's something like, no one can make you feel inferior without your consent. And it's kind of like, no one's allowed to come around and be a cloud and rain on your parade. And I'm not only talking to myself, I'm letting you all know this too. Like, we decide, we choose to be happy or to be sad. Like, suffering, you're gonna suffer in life. Like, let's be real, shit happens. But you don't have to stay down and out and in the trenches. Like, you can decide enough's enough, and you can get up and you can, like, you know, make yourself happy and then live a good life. But when you're someone like me who is very hard on themselves, constantly beating themselves up, constantly putting themselves at fault and trying to find ways to put blame on themselves, and for someone who at times feels unwanted, unlovable, and unworthy, and it's like, and such a burden. If there's anything negative that I feel about myself, like 99.99% of the time, it is that I'm a burden. And no matter how many times I've been told by my parents, family members, members of the community where I live, no matter how many times people tell me, like, you're pretty, you're smart, like, you're so insightful, like, why do you beat yourself up? Like, do you realize how many people love you and care about you? And, like, why is it so important that this one person's opinion matters? Like, why? And I'm like, and it does, and you think, like, the way I was raised, and, like, my religion, and, like, my beliefs and all of that, again, not going into a lot of detail, because, you know, not everybody's going to believe the same thing or whatnot, but, like, based on what I know and what I believe, you'd think that I could use that to, like, fill this big old hole inside of me to feel better, but, like, I don't, and I get praised. Like, people praise me all the time, or they give me compliments, and I say thank you. I thank them. That's the right, nice, polite thing to do. But that doesn't always mean that, like, deep down inside I feel it, and, like, I feel this nice warm feeling, or, like, nice little glow in my heart. It's not like, oh wow, you know. it just is like, I just still feel very hollow and empty, which is obviously very sad and a sad feeling. I think the only times that I can really recall in my life to date where I've truly felt at peace a little, I don't know if I've ever honestly felt at peace. I felt happy, felt like I belonged, felt like I meant something and that I mattered, and that, you know, wow, I really am making a difference in this world, and like I do have a story to share. I have a gazillion of them. And that by me sharing my story and or like my main story and different variations of it, which is, hey, I was diagnosed at 17 with Asperger's, and this is what life's like, and it is very challenging, and this is what life is like after high school, and this is the crap that got thrown at me. It's like the only times that I ever really feel like, wow, like I could do something amazing, and I should be doing something amazing, and I'm honestly trying my best. Does it feel like I'm making a huge impact in the world? No. Do I hope to one day? Yes. Have people, you know, strangers, if you will, like people on Facebook in groups or maybe in a comment, have they said something lovely about me or said how I've helped them in a way? Yeah, I've had one or two of those, and it did feel nice in the moment. It's like, oh, isn't that nice? But that's just it. Oh, isn't that nice? Not like, oh my God, this is wonderful and I feel so great and I'm on this high and it lasts like me for 3 days. There's this thing called an afterglow, and I don't have such thing. It's so funny, my whole life, whenever I was at a friend's house, I could be having fun, as much fun as I could be having while I was like having high anxiety at the same time. And the minute we'd pull back in my driveway, I'd be like, I'm bored. My whole life. It's like nothing ever satisfied me. I constantly needed to be like doing something and being distracted. And I learned that boredom is like another word for like depression or frustration and anger. And all that for anger is depression driven inward, I think. But whenever I get upset, my mom's like, you just need to get angry about it, and then like, you know, then just like move on and you'll be happy. Don't dwell. Don't like be sad. Just get mad. And then like that, because that's what happens. I get angry and I get frustrated, and then that's my driving force that motivates me to talk about this stuff. And so like my whole life, it's like I always needed to be doing something, and then like every summer it's like school would end, and I would feel myself, like I'd feel funny like the last few weeks of school, like as excited as I was, I didn't have to get up every day like really super early, and I could stay up later, and I could be outside more playing with my friend. That's right, my friend. And that it stays out later, longer, so it's lighter, and we could like just have fun. That I would look forward to, but every year when summer would approach, I'd fall into a depression, which I didn't know, but I obviously know now, because my mom would be like, yeah, it's so funny how you would just fall apart during summer vacation. And it was because I didn't have that structure, you know, I didn't have that schedule, and that's something that I need. But what I'm trying to get at is that, like, okay, so Katie Cankro, the founder of the Feel Need Foundation, she is, in my mind, one of, I mean, I want to say she's one of the only, but she's probably not, but one of the only other people, aside from my mother, who I feel like cares about me, loves me, and sees me the same way that my mom does. And to me, that is like mind-boggling and a little bit mind-blowing. Maybe those are the same things, because it's like, and this is going to sound horrible, I know, but this is how I feel. Like, your parents, like, they kind of have to love you. Like, no, like, there's 1,000, however many people there are on this planet, none of them, they don't have to love you. But if they choose to, that is like amazing and incredible. So like I think my mom, like of course she loves me to death. She tells me all the time, reminds me every day, and it's like, but it's also like, but you're my mom, so like it would be sad if you didn't, and you kind of have to. It's kind of like how this thing works. But for someone who's not at all related to me, who has no obligation to even care about me, does. And it's like, why? You know, like what's so great about me? Apparently there's a lot, and people remind me of that all the time. But I don't see it, I don't feel it, I don't recognize it. And so when I first met Katie, and then she, you know, really took a liking to me and wanted me to help her with this nonprofit, you know, that she was working on, it's like, first of all, how could I say no? Because what she's planning on doing is incredible and long overdue for someone like me. And I'm sure I'm not the only one who wishes something like this already had existed. Because it would have just made transitioning from high school into adulthood, if you will, like a lot more easier. So whenever I'm at a Fill a Need Foundation function, like their galas, or if they have any little parties or events throughout the year, I live for those. It's like my, especially the galas, it's like my once a year big night out. I get all done up, and I feel amazing, and everyone's telling me I look lovely or beautiful or whatever, and I get to share my story, and I get to hopefully make an impact. And like I feel normal, you know? I don't feel like an outcast, I don't feel like the black sheep, I don't feel like the lost little loser in the corner, a loner. I don't. I feel like I fit in, and I feel like everyone there really, really cares about me. And I still am like, really? Like you think I'm all that in a bag of potato chips? Because like I don't see myself that way. And this is another reason, and it's a reason I don't really talk about, as to why I really am so passionate about Fill a Need and why I care about it so much. And it's not just because it's going to offer a great opportunity for anyone on the autism spectrum disorder, or anyone with a learning disability, or anyone with Down syndrome, CP, which is cerebral palsy by the way, ADD, ADHD, like anybody who has any sort of struggles, basically anyone that graduates high school that had an IEP, you know, could go here. And don't quote me on that. I'm sure there's other people that maybe don't have IEPs that can go to the Hamlet, which is part of the Fill a Need Foundation. And I keep shoving it down people's throats, and people might be sick of it, but I'm not sick of doing this, because it is so important to me, and I feel like I can't be the only one who really, really needs a program like this to exist. And I've been on the hunt. Okay, I've been looking up, down, left, right, diagonal, under rocks, over things. I've been looking in every nook and cranny, and there ain't crap. Okay, there is nothing for adults in this state. And if there is, it's not for me. And I'm frustrated because I deserve better than that. I know that much. You know, I know I deserve better than what I'm getting. And I know that it is not out there. So I'm forced to look at other states. And I'm just having the damnedest time finding things. It's like, oh, well, if you're lucky, something will allow you to attend if you're like 22, 18 to 22. That's like the highest thing I've come across. Everything else is like for teenagers or little kids. Or if there is something to cut off, maybe like 25 or 27. Okay, and I'm 29. I'm not getting any younger, and stuff needs to start happening, and there needs to be a change. And I just think about like Finding Nemo and how all the fish, you know, were stuck in the big net towards the end of the movie, and he, from his time in the little fishy tank, what he learned is he just swam down, and if everyone swims together and comes together, swims together, that the net will have no choice but to break free. Therefore, the fishes are going to be set free, and they're not going to be someone's dinner. And I just feel like when a lot of people really care about a cause, and a lot of people come together, a movement happens. There's a shift. And if there's enough of that, then there eventually, and hopefully, fingers crossed, there will be a change. and something will get done. Like if you go on my Twitter page, and I'll try to post links down below or somewhere in the video, my pinned tweet says hashtag autism doesn't end at 5, because it does not. And then I do leave the link. It is of the documentary for the Phil Need Foundation, which you can find here on YouTube if you simply just want to search Phil Need Foundation. Or go to philneedfoundation.org. It's under their media section. The website alone will tell you more about this organization. Like them on Facebook. Like I'm trying to get them more likes on Facebook and more people to be tweeting about it and retweeting my tweet, so other people can have easy access to this documentary, and yours truly is in it for a wee little bit. There's my 2 cents of tooting my own horn and that little shameless plug. Like, you want to see me elsewhere, I'm in this video. But seriously, like, it is just so super uber important to me. And life is very hard and challenging and difficult, and I do get frustrated, and I talked about frustration in a video because I live in the state of New Jersey, and currently what I'm dealing with is this organization that we refer to as DDD, which stands for the Division of Developmental Disabilities. And I'm currently working with, like, my provider is the Caregivers of New Jersey, which, by the grace of God, I'm getting rid of them and I'm switching to somebody else because the frustration, I'm telling you. You are assigned like a caseworker-y type person, and for me, every 5 minutes, it's like someone new. You have these meetings, they sit down, they try to help you out. But when you're someone like me who is a high-functioning person, yes, I have Asperger's, yes, I have depression, yes, I have mood swings, anxiety, insomnia, another mood disorder, or sleep disorder. I got crap like that reaches the ceiling of things. But I'm a high-functioning person. So to put me in a program where I'm the highest functioning person, you know, that's just very frustrating, and it's not a fun time. Having me do crap that I don't want to do irritates me. It really, really does. And of course there's things in life that nobody likes, like going to the dentist, and hey, but you have to if you want to keep your teeth, right? But then there's things like, oh, well, you can volunteer reading to kindergartners. It's like, do I want to do that? Oh, hell no. I want to make YouTube videos. That's what I want to do. And so I feel like it's a ridiculous waste of time. Anything, if there's a shred of anything that is somewhat good, guess what? They're not going to pay for it. The state of New Jersey, I have a budget with them through DDD, and they pay for supports and services. But there isn't really anything. So right now, all that they're paying for is my brain training, learning our X, and then my time with Joey. Now, they might pay for some other things down the road. Like if I join the YMCA, like, because of the YMCA is a qualified provider. If someone is a qualified provider, then DDD will pay for that service, as long as it's in your plan and like what you want. Like as long as it's like meets something that's achieving your goal. Like if my goal is to be an astronaut and I'm asking for ballet lessons, they're not going to pay for that. But if I said, oh, take me to space camp, maybe they'd pay for that. So if that makes any sense. So they might pay for like a personal trainer at the Y. Am I thrilled about this? No. Do I miss Jeremy and working out in the little gym that I was working at for that short time? Yes. Do I still miss Shelby from Hometown Trainers? Yes. Do I miss Hometown Trainers in Howard? No. But, so the lady emailed me and she was just like, oh, I'm going to check Hometown Trainers, blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking, please don't. I don't want to have to deal with Howard. If you can bring Shelby back, then sure. But otherwise, like, forget about it. I don't want to waste any time. Time is precious, time is money, and I don't want to waste it. And I just feel like if only there was a place that I could go where I could achieve all my goals and accomplishments and my dreams and feel really good about myself. Sign me up, please. But so far there isn't, and the only hope on the horizons is fill a need. And that's why I keep telling all my friends and like anyone, I'm like, hey, did you hear? Like, be sure to like them and watch the video, the little documentary, and like, you know, really immerse yourself in this and really understand what's to come when you graduate high school, because I can tell you what's to come. I can tell you nothing's coming. Nothing but disappointment, frustration, sadness, and a lot of lonely days on your mother's couch. Or whatever couch you choose to sit on, because clearly you're not going anywhere because there's nowhere to go. At least where I live. Maybe where you live it's different, and if it is, I obviously would love to know about it and love to know all the wonderful things, because I love hearing positive experiences from people. But where I live, I'm very fed up with this state. I'm kind of angry with it. I'm mad at it. For once, I'm blaming something other than myself for some of the reasons why my life is the way that it is. And if there's a shot at me being happy and having a full productive life, and it's not here and it's somewhere else, then I might seriously consider moving, which for the longest time I was like, no way in hell am I moving. Like, you're never getting me out of this house, let alone the state of New Jersey. But now I'm just like, F this, F that. Like, okay, what else is out there? Like, let's do some homework and research and see. I love Florida, I love Utah. What do they have to offer? Like, let's start looking. Maybe somewhere in the Carolinas. I don't know. First of all, it is really expensive to live here. And the traffic is unbelievable. The weather isn't great. There's just so many horrible things that one could say about this state. And if you'd like to hear all those horrible things, my mother is the go-to lady. So, if you want to hear a video on why New Jersey sucks, brought to you by Mallory's mom, you can let me know and I'll ask her if she wouldn't mind doing that. But that's a whole separate thing. It really, really is. Like, so, long story short, which it never really is with me, is like, I'm tired, I'm fed up, I'm not getting any younger, and I want to whatever, what am I trying to say? Dangum life? I'm just like, can't even speak. I'm just so like aggravated with how things are and so pissed off, because they shouldn't be this way. I shouldn't feel this way. But like I said, like, the negative feelings and emotions I have about myself, they've been there for as long as I can remember, and I'd say they're separate. I'd like to think that they're separate from like Asperger's and everything else, but definitely the frustration and all the like angst in me, the ness in me is from that. And the reason why it's from that is because no one's woken up and opened their eyes and said, oh my God, all those kids with an autism spectrum disorder are going to be adults one day and we better do something about it, because it's like, hello, here I am and you haven't done anything about it. Granted, y'all didn't know much back then, but hell, you know enough now that you should realize, okay, when all these kids that we're helping get older, they're still going to need our help. And yeah, okay, so how about we not make services and supports readily available to them? How about when they leave their school district and graduate high school at 18 or 21, we just cut them. We just cut all ties. See, I wouldn't want to be it. Like, have fun when you fall off your cliff into nothingness and you have to live between the cracks and no one knows that you're there, and your life's become very depressing and lonely. Like, good luck with your life. Like, that's what it felt like. A big, you know what, effing slap in the face is what it felt like. It's like, oh, here's your high school diploma, and whack. That's what, honest to goodness, it feels like. It feels like I was flipping, like, smacked in the face, and it's like people are mocking me. Not literally. I mean, I'm sure there's people out there like thinking I'm weird or whatever, but like, who cares, you know? It's like, but that's what it kind of feels like. Society, the school district, this town, this state. I feel like it's one big mockery, and it's just like, ha ha, like we got you so good, and it's like, but I didn't sign up for this. It's like, where's Ashton Kutcher? Where's the cameras? Am I being punked right now? Like, this is honestly what it feels like, but I'm not, and that's what's so flippin' sad about all this, is that it's like, you gotta be kidding me, right? Like, who makes this stuff up? No one. It's real. And I tried community college. I tried having a part-time job. But like I said, shit happens, and life gets in the way of things, and if you're like me, well, it's like as soon as, you know, the war ends, guess what? Another bomb goes off, you know? I don't know if I've won every war, but I've definitely won some battles in my life. And if you all heard Katy Perry's latest single, Rise, that's my latest anthem, my theme song, because I've been going through some stuff and I'm trying to make this be my comeback week. I'm like, I said to my mom, Stella's got to get her group back. Like, this is not my farewell tour. Like, no. And so just I'm constantly listening to that song on repeat. And like Katy Perry, she has like some of the best songs that like really speak to me, and it's like, girl, you get me so well. And it's like, it really helps to motivate me to keep pushing and chugging along, you know. I just feel like there's so many times I could have like thrown in the towel and been like, okay, so you don't want me to have a life, well then guess what, I won't, and watch me deteriorate on my couch. But I was like, no, oh hell no, that is not acceptable, not the least bit. So I get angry, and then I make videos talking about my frustrations, and it's like, well, if these programs and whatnot that I want and dream of aren't out there yet, well then I'm going to try to do something about it. I don't know what, I don't know how, I don't know when, I don't know with who, but something has got to give, and it's got to give like 5 years ago. I mean, I've been out of high school for 10 years, okay? 5 years of my life was put on hold for various different reasons, and each one of those could be a 10-hour video, I swear. Like, I could go on for days about this, and it's not fun. It hasn't been fun, and it's not fun anymore. It's like when someone, you know, keeps playing a prank with you, and at first you think it's funny, and you play along, and you're like, oh, ha, 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 but then, like, they take it too far, and it gets, like, whoa, and you're like, okay, this isn't funny anymore, whether they're pranking you or maybe you and someone else are pranking someone, and the prank's starting to get a little too far and carried away, and then you're the smart one who's like, wait a minute, I think we should stop, but the other person's like, are you kidding me? No, like, you're such like a nerd or whatever, like a wet blanket, like a party pooper, like, psh, you know what I mean? That's what it feels like. It feels like, first of all, I didn't want any part of not having a life. I want one. So I never wanted to go along with this charade of like, oh, well, guess what? Well, you're going to graduate. Here's a diploma. And, yeah. Here's like a coupon to IKEA, because when your couch gives in after sitting on it so long, you're going to need another one. It's like, thanks, but no, I didn't sign up for that. Hello? Can anyone hear me? Can anyone help me? It's like, that's what it feels like. And it's just constant, like, yeah, I get depressed, and then I get angry and frustrated, and then I get really anxious, and I'm like, what the F-U-C-K, man? You know? And so I'm honestly looking at things outside of the state as far as, like, my college education goes, because I do want to finish a college career or get back into the college game, and this time I actually want to try fully immersing myself in college life, like joining a club and campus activities and making new friends and meeting new people and learning along the way, learning about life and just growing, not only academically but socially and mentally and otherwise. I think physically I'm done growing. I don't know if any more could come. A little bit taller might be nice. A few little changes I'd like to make about myself, but I think that does beyond my control, and whatever I got is what I got. I'm not gonna, I like wear like 10-inch heels, but whatever. That's besides the point. The point is, like, I'm very serious about all the social media marketing stuff, and like having that be a career, and like really getting involved in a community and with an organization, and like do more motivational speaking or just any old speaking engagements where I share my story on multiple platforms, not just on Facebook, not just writing a speech and posting on Tumblr, not just taking a cute pic and putting the speech on the description on Instagram, not just a long ass Snapchat story, and not just YouTube videos, like out in the real world at conferences, conventions, etc., with people and human interactions and face-to-face, and hi, I'm Mallory, and this is my story, and how can I help you kind of thing, or hopefully I'm of help to someone. Like, that's really what I want, what I really want. So tell me what you want, what you really want. I want help. I want a life. I want more than just me sitting on a couch on my living room floor moping about stuff. Like, because I'm sick and tired of doing it, but I'm not going to stop until there's change. And I hope people get on board with me, not just like my mom and I. But if it is just my mom and I just love that song, Me, Myself, and I will ride until I die. Dun, 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 dun. If that's all that it is, just me, myself, and I mean, hell, hopefully one of the three of us gets something done. If it's just my mom and I, like, hopefully we help people along the way and we get something done. If there's like a bunch of people that want to be like, you know what, I'm sick and tired and I'm frustrated too, and how can I help, and I want to help you, I'll be like, thank you, Jesus. And if it goes even more and beyond that, I'd be flabbergasted, and I'd be like so happy and so like thrilled, like beyond words. Like, I'd be speechless. So yeah, I am just a frustrated, tired, fed up person who realizes that she's not getting any younger, and that all she does is sit on the couch, and not by choice. Maybe on the weekends, okay, maybe on a Sunday, I just want to be lazy. But for the most part, it's like, no, I wish I had a program or something, anything that I could go to that was actually going to be good for me and going to help me grow and help me with my confidence, some independence, my self-esteem, my self-worth, and anything else that's under those umbrellas, and really help push me. You know, it's like when it's time for a baby bird to fly, I guess the mom knows, and the mom pushes the bird out of the nest, and you're like, oh my God. But then the baby bird flies, and now they're flying, and now they're free, and they can go places. I'm waiting for that, but I don't think it's going to come from my mom. I don't think my mom just shoving me off somewhere is going to help. I don't know, but I wouldn't really appreciate it if she just did that. And nor would she. She wouldn't just shove me off and leave me somewhere in Shanghai to like fend for myself in the woods with the wolves. No. That's another thing. I can be very dramatic a lot of the time and take things to extreme levels. But I try not to. But you know what I mean? It's just like, my mom's always going to be there for me as long as she's alive and around and breathing and well. Like, she's going to be there for me, guiding me through life. But the sad reality is there's going to come a day where she's not going to be here. And I don't want to have to go knock on my brother's door and be like, yeah, so can you now help me with all of this stuff that Mom used to do? Well, meanwhile, he's busy with his family. Like, I don't want to do that, you know? But then again, who knows? I could have a boyfriend. I think there's so many other variables that, you know, could be. But again, it's also kind of like besides the point in a whole nother like video. But there is going to come a day where our parents aren't going to be here, and I don't want to still be Like, I don't want to go to my mom's funeral and then just come home and just sit back on the couch because that's all there is to do. That's not what I want. It's not. I said it 1,000 times in this video and I can say it 10,000 more, but it's a really long video. And I need to be honest, I need to go make something to eat and have dinner. But I wanted to make this video. I was outside watering plants when it dawned on me, like, no matter how much people praise me, I don't feel that, like, it doesn't absorb. And so, I know, talking about that afterglow real quick. Like, I could be having, like, the time of my life with someone or something, and then when it's over, that feeling is immediately like it's gone. I can think about the memory, I can bring it up, but I don't feel that feeling. That feeling is no longer associated with it. Now, whenever we hang out with my nephews, my mom gets like the biggest like endorphin rush, and she feels like, she's like, it's the best high ever hanging out with my nephew. She's like, for 3 days straight, she's like, I got that afterglow, I'm in the best mood, like everything is just great. So whenever she's like feeling down and out, because let's face it, anyone who is alive and breathing can feel down and out sometimes. Doesn't matter what the circumstances are, stuff happens. And so for her, like hanging out with her grandchildren, my nephews, make her really happy and give her that boost of in her mood. And like for me, when I'm with them in that moment in time, I am happy, I am distracted from everything else because I can't be selfish, you know, because now there's 3 other little lives at stake that need love and attention and focus. And so now I have to concentrate on them and making sure that they're happy and they're fun and that they're feeling loved and that, you know, they're safe and having a good time. So I can't worry about me, you know, I can worry about me later. And I have fun and they make me laugh and I love reading to them and playing games and just like watching TV and just like doing what an aunt does, you know? Like I love it, but when it's over, it's over. And if anything, I just feel exhausted. But I don't have that like fun afterglow, you know? It's like, oh, that was fun and now it's not. And a lot of times things happen, but then they feel like they didn't. You know, it's just back, I just go back to that emptiness and that like not so fun feelings that I have internally. And when the whole prepping for a gala, it is kind of stressful, but it's also, it's like that good stress, you know? It's like, yeah, I'm gonna like be a star for a night and I'm gonna share my story and I'm gonna, you know, get to look very pretty and it's all for like this great cause that I really support, and it's a wonderful thing. And then like usually the next day or so I'm just like, wow, you know, but not much really gives me that. And so if not just for like you can go on Felony's website. You could read what they stand for. You can read what like all the things they're trying to accomplish and achieve and what like their mission is. And while all that is great and while all that is extremely beyond important, it's the other aspect that isn't talked about, and that's the emotional component and how wonderful they make me feel and how wonderful I feel being surrounded by such lovely people and just being able to be myself and like feel okay about it, which I usually don't feel okay about myself. You know, it's just like a little side note, it's funny, like a really good friend of mine, you know, again, without going into a lot of detail because his stories is his to tell, it's not for me to tell, but he's, you know, had his struggles, and he's just like, you know, he goes, for someone who's like himself. He's like, I'm surprised you still talk to me. And I'm like thinking, I'm surprised you want anything to do with me. You know, like we're both baffled that each other enjoys one another's company and that we want to talk to the other person and we want to like have like this special friendship and bond. And I just find that kind of funny, like as I'm like thinking about it and sharing with you. Like he'll say it to me on more than one occasion and I'm thinking the same exact thing. I'm thinking, when am I going to get weird him out? When am I going to creep him out? At what point is he going to get tired and sick of me and move on and find better people or something else to do at this time? And he's still sticking around and I can't believe it. And it's so funny to me when he's just like, really? Like, I can't believe you'd want to even like have anything to do with me. I'm like, are you kidding me? Why wouldn't I? Like, put all the negativity aside. Like, you're a really good person. Like, you're a sweetheart. I don't love him like I'm not in love with him, but you know what I mean. I love everyone as God wants us to, is what I'm trying to get at. So before this video gets way too long, which it already is, or any creepier than it might have, I just wanted to share something with y'all that I don't think I ever fully did. And again, reiterate the importance of the Phil Need Foundation, and if not that, something like it needs to happen. It seriously does. And I'm going to try to link some stuff below or put it somewhere in this video so you can go check it out for yourself if you have not done so already. I almost kind of made this like a live stream, but I'm like, I don't know, because I want to have it in a way that I can like share it on multiple platforms very easily and not clog up space on my phone. So, the other being said, I thank you guys for watching. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, feel free to leave those down below. And while you're down there, don't forget to check the description box for all those links and my social media stuff. I'm pretty much everywhere. Come say hey, because I'm also chatting about this pretty much everywhere, as well as other regular day life things. And don't forget to like this video, give it a big old thumbs up. And I know it's really long, but if it was helpful to you in any way, or you think that it could be helpful to someone else, feel free to share this video. Or share any of the info down below. I really appreciate that. Thank you guys so much again for being here and for watching. And as always, till next time, keep it quirky.